Hello, this is Dr. Hislop. There was a little bit of confusion about something with the presentation replies, so I just wanted to make a quick video and go through it a little bit. I'm going to turn my camera off while I do this because I don't really need it, but hello. Nice to meet you all, see you all. Okay, so this is a slightly complicated aspect of the course that I just wanted to go through, which is the presentation replies assignment. So if you go, so all of you have to do a presentation. As you, I hope, are aware, you're going to, in groups, work on a single presentation with your partner or partners. You're going to build a PowerPoint presentation and record yourselves delivering the PowerPoint presentation, and you'll then upload the PowerPoint presentation to discussions for whichever date you signed up for, right? So we have our presentation sign up. All of you should know your presentation date by now, and be prepared to finish the presentation, upload it appropriately. So I just wanted to explain that a little bit. So when you go to your assignments, right, all of the required pieces of what you need to do are in the presentation guidelines and submission under course engagement in assignments on Canvas. So hopefully you've gone over this already, but if not, you should definitely look at all of these. You need to have a little background section. There should be a photo of the author. You should have a fun fact that's distinct from the last presentation on that author, if that's the case. So it's possible that we won't have repeat presentations on the same author, but if that's true, you should make the fact distinct from the last one. There's an excerpt from the text or film that you found interesting. Explain why you found it interesting. If it's a film, play the scene a little bit. You should ask 3 discussion questions. Each of the discussion questions should refer back to a part of the text, of a specific part. So for example, this is an example. And that's a substantial part of your grade are the discussion questions. There is a requirement to include what I'm calling an associated source, which is also basically a secondary source. Is a list of associated sources for every text we have under files, and in the associated sources folder. So let me just go there quickly, right? So if you go to files, you'll see there's all these different folders. These are the ones for the student presentations, associated sources. And for every text that you might present on, there are associated sources. So let's just look at the ones for passing. There's a bunch of different ones. You only have to choose one, and you should incorporate it into your presentation in some way. So that might be playing a clip from this news clip. It could be showing this map of Harlem. It could be taking a quote from Richard Wright's Portrait of Harlem. Just any inclusion of one of these associated sources for your specific, the specific work that you're presenting on. So let's go back to the assignment of the presentation. So you've done all this, right? You have your PowerPoint. You are ready to record yourselves delivering the presentation. Where are you uploading your recording? You should be uploading it to discussions. In discussions, right? Most of what discussions is are the weekly posting and replying. If you scroll down all the way, there are 11 opportunities, 11 weeks of opportunity to post and reply. So if you scroll all the way to the end, all the way past 11, this is where the presentations should be uploaded. And obviously they should be uploaded on the specific date you signed up for. So presentation for Friday, October 3rd is going here. Presentation for Friday, October 10th goes here, and so on and so on. This is important for you to know because even if you're not the presenter, you are required to respond to all of the presentations as a non-presenter. So there are 10, actually, so you only have to respond to 9. you need to respond to one discussion question per presentation by the end of the quarter, really a few days after the end of the quarter officially, which is, oh, sorry, Sunday, December 7th. I was trying to highlight this date, but so because of that, because you have until the end of the quarter to do all of your replies, and this accounts for half of your grade. So you get 50 points for your presentation, and the other 50 points are coming from your your presentation replies. So every time you reply to a discussion question in your presentation, in a presentation you didn't do, right? One of your peers' presentations, you accrue points toward the 50. So for every presentation you don't reply to a discussion question of, you lose out on points towards that other 50 point bunch of points for your presentation grade. I'm actually going to label these with your name so that you have a sense of who is presenting, and so that's clear. So I just wanted to show you, the Friday, October 3rd presentation has been uploaded. If you go all the way down, there's a video to watch. So you're going to watch the video and respond to a discussion question from the video. Remember, you have until December 7th to do that. But you have until December 7th to do all of the presentation discussion questions here. So I would recommend doing it somewhat on a timely basis, but it is up to you how you manage your time around this assignment. I think that should cover it. I want to make sure I didn't forget something. I did want to show you there's a sort of explanation of this in assignments of the presentation replies grade, how that's working. Oh, yes, that's what I wanted to mention. So I might be here. Yeah. I mentioned here, if a student presentation is not uploaded by the date it was scheduled to be uploaded, I will give the presenters a 24-hour grace period. But after that, all non-presenters are no longer responsible for replying to a discussion question in that presentation. So I think I'm going to amend that because since you have such a long time to get this assignment done, I think I'm going to change that to more of like a 72-hour grace period, which I think is more fair to a presenter, especially somebody presenting, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5. The only exception to that will be if your presentation is the last one, which there is a presentation scheduled for Friday, December 5th, you will not have a 72-hour grace period. Hopefully that's obvious. You will have a 24-hour grace period, and I'm just going to make that change to this assignment now. So I did want to explain that because I got a question about it, and I hope this is clear now. If there are any other questions, please let me know. So to recap a little bit, you have a presentation and you also have responses to your peers' presentations you are expected to do. Hopefully you know the timeline on which that's supposed to happen. Presentations are being uploaded on a weekly basis. So every Friday by 11:59 p.m., there should be a presentation uploaded. There will be a 72-hour grace period for presentations not uploaded by Friday, the original date they were supposed to be uploaded. But if after that 72-hour grace period, the presentation still isn't up, then you will no longer be responsible for replying to a discussion question in that presentation. All of the presentation uploads are going to discussions. Remember, you're going to scroll all the way to the bottom of discussions to find all the uploads. And yeah, I hope that answers the questions about the presentation and this part of the presentation grade, which is the presentation replies. Okay, thank you so much for watching and have a good rest of your day, night, morning, whenever you watch this. Okay, bye.